Hey there, everybody. Mark Barrett here with Team Impact Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Kickboxing here in Coweta, Oklahoma. I was going to talk today about something I've seen going around in the news and on social media, the report of it, and then also people making comments about it. Nothing bad. There's a place here nearby to where we are, a martial arts school that's been promoting a self-defense class for women and for men as well. I think it was kind of geared at the time that I saw towards women mainly. And there's been a lot of conversation about it, and so I want to kind of give my 2 cents on the matter. I think that people wanting to learn to defend themselves is a great thing, right? I think that's something that's important. I think that's something we should all try to do. We wear our seatbelts when we're driving in our vehicles, at least we should be. We put on protective gear for different things that we do. We have insurance, right? We take certain measures in our life to keep ourselves safe and to prevent ourselves from being hurt, and precautions and different things that we do to prepare in case something bad happens. So I think learning to defend yourself is important in case you're ever in that position. One thing I was seeing, though, from a lot of people that have martial arts experience or run martial arts programs, they were talking about, how a seminar, even just a 2 or 3 hour seminar in one day, isn't enough to actually teach you self-defense. And for the most part, I agree. I think that if you're going to do self-defense and you want to become proficient at it and able to actually defend yourself, doing a self-defense seminar by itself isn't really going to accomplish that. Now, don't let me be a hypocrite, because I do self-defense seminars at times. I've had people come in. We've done self-defense seminars for men, women, co-ed, and I have done those self-defense seminars in the past. But something that I'm very particular about saying is that this is just an introduction to defending yourself. That it is something that you need to keep moving forward with, that you need to keep looking into. You need to get involved into a martial arts school. So when people come in, obviously, I would love for them to continue training at my program. But I tell them, even if you're not going to train with me, make sure when you leave here, you go and you train somewhere. Keep your education in self-defense continuing. Because a seminar by itself throws either a lot of information about self-defense in general. It's like a lot of different types of techniques, or maybe only do a couple techniques and they try to get really in depth with it, but you're not going to really be able to retain most of that information long term. You're not going to have the physical skill sets to actually utilize it in a self-defense situation, and the mental and the mental preparation and the stress inoculation type of preparation that you get from training in general isn't going to be achieved by that one self-defense seminar. Even if you're going quarterly, it's still not enough, right? Most of the time, if you're really wanting to get proficient at something that involves you being physically active, and at the same time, you have to have some mental aspects that you've developed as well, it's going to require training on a pretty regular basis for a consistent period of time, right? And that brings me to my next point. If you're going to do self-defense training, what kind of training should you do? And I'm sure lots of people have opinions about a lot of different types of martial arts. Some are going to say karate, some are going to say taekwondo, some are going to say wrestling, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, right? If somebody's going to say this is what you should do, and there's going to be those people who say, hey, you should do boxing and wrestling, you should do a mixture of striking and grappling, and that's a good idea as well. It's my firm belief that there's only one, martial arts system out there right now regularly that teaches a pretty good, approach to self-defense, to what as close to fighting as you can, so to speak. And I think that's mixed martial arts. Now, don't come at me. I'm not saying mixed martial arts is its own martial art. I don't believe that's the case. At my gym, if people go on to do my MMA class, I require them to come to my jiu-jitsu class, to my kickboxing, Muay Thai class, to the wrestling class if they can, right? I want them to get the fundamentals down in these other classes and get the details of those techniques. But I also realize in a jiu-jitsu class, for instance, a lot of times those people are starting down on the ground. They're not getting punched. There's certain positions that are good for sport, but they're not necessarily good for self-defense, right? What is considered safe isn't necessarily a safe position in fighting. And so, that's not, as effective overall for self-defense. Same thing for striking. Yes, you can punch, good boxing class, good kickboxing class, until somebody grabs you and throws you on the ground or gets on top of you. And then now your techniques are taken away. And if you're not addressing how to deal with that, then you're missing out on the self-defense aspect of it. So I think mixed martial arts is a really good tool for that, because you're putting the punching, the kicking, the knees, the different types of strikes, the grappling, the clinching, standing up and down, getting close, all those different facets that you're trying to do. That's about as close to real fighting as you can get without real fighting, right? Now, again, don't come at me. I get it. It's a sport still, right? There are rules and there's things you can't do. Our MMA fighters, they go to a cage, there's a referee, they can't do groin strikes, they can't do eye pokes, things of that nature. So I'm not saying it encompasses everything, right? But if you train like that, where you're biting and you're headbutting, you're eye gouging people while you're training, you're not going to have training partners for very long, right? So I'm just saying mixed martial arts is about the closest to real fighting, to real self-defense training as you can get, with just hand-to-hand combat, right? Because you're kind of incorporating everything, and there's usually a little higher level of impact and contact, and you're not as padded up. There's not as many rules. So if you're going to do self-defense training, I recommend that you're looking to get into a program. If you get yourself into a self-defense seminar, that's great. I'm glad it piques your interest. I think you should try it. But realize that a self-defense seminar is just like dipping your toe in the water. There's a lot more to it, and there's a lot more work and repetition that needs to be done. And if you're looking for martial arts for self-defense, don't limit yourself to just a grappling martial art or just a striking martial art. Make sure you're going somewhere that incorporates those things together, that puts you into stressful situations and makes you work through them. Anyway, that's my opinion on the matter. Comment below if you agree or don't agree. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.